Mariah.
And welcome to Sobriety. Ding! The show where we talk about sobriety and drink tea. So, Mariah, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking we could tell our stories.
Okay. Why don't you go with yours first?
All right. So, I've been to rehab a bunch of times. The first time I went, it was in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went, and it was good. It was actually not good. I didn't want to go. I only went because it made my mom be quiet about how gross I was and how I was like 100 pounds and like doing a bunch of fucking acid and stuff and like, you know, just the usual. And so after that event, I went straight back out. I went back to using like literally like the night after I got home from, I went to Sierra Tucson in Tucson, Arizona, and it was amazing. Literally, like they had Reiki. It was like, you know, like the healing energy work. And
that's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Reiki is healing energy work, and it's really amazing, and it's really like, if you get into it and try it, is worth it. But so basically that was, you know, that was not something I wanted to do, but I did it anyway. So once you go to rehab, you kind of get into this place of, you can't really use again, like you did before, because you're kind of tainted with this little bug that bites you that's called the AA bug. And it's a vicious bug. It's really like,
Buries in there.
it really burrows in your brain, and like your brain just like basically like becomes converted essentially. And it's not a bad bug by any means, but basically it just ruins the rest of your using career. But yet I still had a very long using career after that. I used for about 6 years after that. I went to rehab a couple more times. A few more times actually. I went, sorry about my burp. But I went and I had an interesting experience. I went to a wilderness therapy program in Utah, and that was amazing. I really had a great time. Like, it was great. Like, I got to like teach yoga classes and stuff. It was really fun.
Wow.
And it was like really like, I learned a lot there. I learned a lot about just like Native American culture and stuff too, being in Utah. Just like, I got to see some like old like places where Native Americans used to live and like all this cool stuff. Like, it was incredibly beautiful. It was like probably one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. But after that, I went to this rehab here in Texas called Nova, and I went to the rehab twice. I went to their one location in Buda for the first time, and I went to their second location in 2015. First one I went to was in 2014 in Buda, and the other one I went to was in Wimberley, and that was in 2015. And that was also, during that time, my boyfriend passed away, and rest in peace. And I really, like, I had no intention of staying sober after that. Like, I really, like, I wanted to stay sober for him, but, like, at the same time, I was just so fucking pissed off. Like, I was really angry, and I was like, why did he have to die? Like, you know, why did this happen? Like, really pissed off. And so I did, like, a bunch of fucking drugs after that. Like, that's when my using got really, like, out of control, like, crazy. And I wasn't, you know, I didn't live with my family, so I was essentially homeless. I was, you know, couch surfing with my friends and, like, really kind of suffering and just, like, you know, being really, like, depressed and, like, masking my depression, just doing a bunch of, like, GHB and fucking smoking a bunch of meth. And, like, meth is my drug of choice, by the way. And so that was just, like, a really fucked up experience. Like, I was, you know, nothing I would want to, like, repeat, essentially.
Yeah. I'm with you. That sounds
yeah,
like
no,
terrible
absolutely. And so after that, I ended up moving back to Houston in 2016, and I started using more and more there. I started selling cocaine and incriminating. But I don't do that anymore, for the record. And I started doing that so I could support my meth habit, and like that was, a really rough experience. Knock on wood, I never got caught by the cops. Really lucky. My whole using career, I've never had any sort of brushes with the law, which is incredible. I don't know how that's happened. Like I've, gone to visit my friends in jail and stuff, and like, been like really sad about it, and like been like, how did they get caught and I didn't? But so I would spend a lot of my days, I didn't have a job. I was just being a bum and, sleeping on in my mom's house in Houston. And I was like super sad, like all the time. I would like drink like two big boxes of like red wine and get a bunch of meth, and I would like hole up in my mom's like back house and drink a bunch of fucking wine and smoke a bunch of meth and like listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers and cry, and like it was a really it was a sad, sorry ass sight. Like I was one sorry ass son of a bitch. Like I was a terrible person. I wasn't any fun. Like I'd go out sometimes and like go dancing with my friends, like maybe like once in a while. I started dating this one guy we went dancing like a whole lot. So, but yeah, so that was it. And that was basically like my experience with, being a fucked up person, getting fucked up.
Okay, so my experience was, well, we both went to rehab in 2012.
Yeah.
My drug of choice is cocaine. I got addicted to that when I was first in college, at the age of 27. And then from then on, it just became about me getting higher and higher and getting more and more into doing whatever I could to stay cool. I used to live in San Francisco. I used to hang out with what I called the king of San Francisco. And he had a huge warehouse in San Francisco where we would basically just get high. And then we would talk about all the problems with the world and how we would solve them. It's funny because it's like, in your addiction, you really think that like you're on top of everything. And in reality, it's like you couldn't be more further removed from the truth. So finally I went to rehab in 2012. Came out, went straight back to where I was. I mean, at first I was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm not using cocaine, so therefore I'm good. But in reality, I was just using whatever I could to get back to cocaine. And once I got back to cocaine, then I just hit the ground running. I did that for another 4 years until recently I chose to go back to rehab and get my life back together and clean myself up. So now I am here in Austin, Texas, in Recovery Unplugged, where me and Mariah met. And that is my story for the most part. Anyway, that's about it. That's about all the time we have. So, okay. We will talk to you guys again soon.
Peace out.
Bye.